Net Game Radio. Shoutcast, music show, lemon party.
What?
Okay, welcome back, gamers. You're watching a Net Game Radio HoNcast. My name is Triumph Man, and joining me here in the studio tonight is nobody. I'm all alone. We did, in fact, have about 5 different people who wanted to cast this match, but unfortunately, one by one, they've had to pull out, and they've been unable to help me out here, so I'm going to be casting this one all alone, and I know Fives is going to be kind of mad because he wanted to help out with this cast, but unfortunately, I told him there was no room, so if you're listening to this, Fives, sorry, mate. Looks like there was room after all. But anyway, tonight we have uNEW versus Team Fives. So at the moment here, I'm just going to call out the players we've got here. We've got, playing for uNEW on the Legion side, we've got Zulu, Thumb, Shinji, How Bad Are You, and Moleman. And playing for Fives, we've got Fives himself, XT Unknown, Miara, Saib, also from TT Gear, a pro CSS player, and Fives Joey Wheeler. So the bands will be coming out fairly steadily here. I'm just going to call out what we've got so far. We've got Thunderbringer, Vindicator, Plague Rider, and Swiftblade banned so far. And Shinji complains that he wanted to pick Sachi Swiftblade. Fives, of course, already trolling. Fives, a huge troll on our CG forums and elsewhere, particularly GOT games. But another band comes out. It's Hellbringer this time banned, as Moleman also complaining he was going to play that. So seems to be some fairly textbook bans here, although honestly I'm not sure about the Plague Rider ban, the Plague Rider ban, if they were going for something specific or if they had a specific strategy in mind. Is Slither also gets banned there. Fives banning Slither as Zulu bans Torture. Torture, of course, having some nice buffs since the realignment patch, having the static stun, so it doesn't need to level up the stun to get the stun time to scale up there. As Sandwraith also gets banned. Sandwraith getting actually nerfed during that realignment patch. But however, he's still considered a fairly popular hard carry in the tri-lane metagame. So again, Sandwraith getting banned there. So interesting bans. I think they're all fairly textbook bans. Although honestly, I'm not sure about Torturer and the Plague Rider. Torturer, of course, getting some buffs. Plague Rider getting that movement speed buff up to 320 movement speed, which puts him up as the fastest natural hero in the game alongside Moon Queen. As Myrmidon, a popular pick, gets picked up there by uNEW as a first pick. Fives, on the other hand, has Tempest Ghost picked at the moment. Not sure if he's going to go for that. It's going to be interesting to see if they do decide to run him as a solo or a jungler if they do pick him up. But I honestly don't think we'll see him as a jungler as the tri-lane metagame is so dominant. As Witchslayer gets picked up. Witchslayer, of course, being a very, very popular support in the HoN tri-lane metagame. As we're now just waiting for XT Unknown to pick up his hero as Fives switches to the Pimp Slayer. The Pimp Slayer skin, of course, being one of the best skins, in my opinion, that S2 has to offer. If you can afford it, get it because you will not regret it. So still waiting for XT to pick up his Unknown to pick up his hero as he picks up Ninja Bubbles. That is a nice pick. Bubbles, of course, being very dangerous for tri-laners to face against. If he can get a solo mid, get a good run, and then he can just jump in on top of the jump in on top of the tri-lane and completely mess them up with his AoE and his long-range attacks because he can get right in there from unexpected angles. As uNEW pick up Demented Shaman, of course, getting his reworks and arguably some buffs. As Shinji picks up Legendary Valkyrie, of course, we've got all the new skins getting broken out here. We've got Legendary Valkyrie, Ninja Bubbles, and we've got Pimp Slayer, the Pimp Slayer himself, indeed. So at the moment we've got Bubbles and Witchslayer versus Demented Shaman, Myrmidon, and Valkyrie. Just waiting for Miara and Saib to pick up their heroes. As Miara picks up Magebane and Saib picks up Aluna. Honestly, Aluna not a hero I'd pick that often, but she appears to be getting picked up. I've seen her picked up in a few of the CGI games, but honestly not a hero I'd pick up because honestly her ult is a little lackluster. I mean, if you use it in a fight, really all you get the benefit for is the stun. There's the benefit for the stun because you don't need the slow for deja vu in a fight, and then the extra range for the Makana throw is just wasted because you're already up close in combat anyway, so you don't need it. As uNEW pick up Defiler and Armadon to round out their picks, we're now just waiting on Joey Wheeler to pick up the final hero for Team Fives. As we seem to have a bit of banter coming out, as so it looks like Fives is saying that Aluna is not auto-banned. Apparently a few of these teams like Aluna. Honestly, I don't like her, but maybe I'll talk to them later and see what they see in her. But anyway, still waiting for Joey Wheeler to pick up his hero. as How Bad Are You is assuming that she was auto-banned unless stated otherwise. I'm fairly sure she's been out for a week now, so she shouldn't be auto-banned by CG rules anymore. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. As Joey Wheeler now is ghost picking Voodoo Jester. Voodoo Jester, of course, being another very popular tri-lane babysit hero, and he would indeed round up a nice tri-lane for Team 5s with Mage Bane, Witch Slayer, and Voodoo Jester in the tri-lane. And yes, he does indeed pick up Voodoo Jester. So expected lanes for Team 5. I'm going to say that Mage Bane, Witch Slayer, and Voodoo Jester are all going to take a tri-lane, and then Aluna and Ninja Bubbles will take a solo each. Not sure which one will take which. But I'm just looking at the Legion team. That is an interesting line. I think we'll see Myrmidon, Armadon, and Demented Shaman run a tri-lane. And then we'll have Valkyrie and Defiler solo. But as we're just starting up here, get it rolling. At the moment, I think this is hard to pick. I'm honestly not a fan. I'm really not a huge fan of Armadon, and I'm just looking at the Legion team. They really don't have all that much great disabled. Valkyrie's got an awesome disabled, but it's a very hit and miss. And then Myrmidon's got his disables, but again, they're a little hit and miss. You've really got to time them. They're not reliable. On the other hand, the Legion team have Bubbles, they have Witch Slayer, they have Aluna, they have Voodoo Jester, all of which have really reliable disables. And I'm just having some trouble here with my screen there. As here the rules are coming up, so I'm saying if a new hero item content is released, it is auto-banned from the matches for up to 3 days from the release. So it seems she is indeed completely legal to play that Aluna hero. But now we're just watching the teams right here. But yes, as I was saying, my money, this game is going to be on the Hellborn team. I think Team 5s have the better lineup with the more reliable disables, and of course CC being a huge part of HoN. So it looks like we have indeed got the tri-lane for the Hellborn rolling out top. It is Witch Slayer, Mage Bane, and Voodoo Jester. As now we see, looks like Valkyrie might be headed to the top lane as Defiler appears to be mid, which means Valkyrie she could solo against the tri-lane fairly effectively. I'm just looking at the Legion, the Hellborn style. It's Bubbles. He can also manage that fairly easily. So it's going to be Bubbles versus tri-lane and Valkyrie versus the tri-lane. And it looks like we're going to have Aluna versus Defiler in the mid lane. As it looks, the Hellborn team are stacking that top rune, so they're going to have that fairly easily. They've only got Valkyrie and Defiler there who can't really contest. Whereas it looks like they're sweeping up, looking for an early kill. Mage Bane scouting that for his team. They found Valkyrie. Once she got skilled up there, she hasn't picked any of her skills yet. Voodoo Jester just harassing with his auto attack. Just harassing some more. Doesn't look like they're going to go for it, although there's some teammates from the Hellborn chasing up that lane there. Doesn't look like they're going to reach there in time, though, as Valkyrie just retreats towards the first tower. As the rune has spawned top, it's an invisibility rune. Valkyrie could be in a little bit of trouble. If Witch Slayer can pick that up and set up a gank for his team, although Mage Bane picks that up. Miara possibly trolling a little bit there. I'm not sure about that. Would have given it to one of the guys with a stun, honestly. As I'm just checking, Valkyrie has picked up the leap, so she should be alright. If she picked up any other skill, she'd be in a lot of trouble, to be honest. Just looking at Bubbles, just hiding in the trees. Looks like he's going to go for the leeching XP straight, as Mage Bane is just going to harass Valkyrie. There's coming out the invis to harass Valkyrie. Honestly, that could have been achieved with a stunner. I really don't know why Miara picked up that invisibility rune. One of the two stunners easily could have set up a more effective harassing maneuver there. As I'm looking at Luna, has come out to the lane with just 2 minor totems. As he is actually 2 minor totems and he's rushing a bottle, so that is a very early bottle coming out now. As it looks like he was possibly spamming, the Makata stick to, spamming the Makata stick to get some last hits and to harass Defiler, as the bottle has been delivered. So it looks like there is a double stack here happening. 2 double stacks here happening, so Valkyrie's going to have a lot of creep pulled against her as Joey Wheeler's dropped down a good ward there, watching out for any TP ganks, so Valkyrie going to have a little trouble getting any effective reinforcements from ganks. As I'm just looking at the Legion team, they haven't done the same, so if the Hellborn team want to TP bottom to help out Bubbles, they could get some ganks up there. As also we see some creep stacks for the Legion. There's Valkyrie copying a bit of flack there, but managing to leap to safety, and this is why, if you're taking a tri-lane, taking yourself solo against a tri-lane as Valkyrie, you take that leap first. I'm fairly sure we saw, I think it was Cash Money Heroes or Giraffe, I can't remember who it was. They took their Valkyrie solo and they didn't get leap first. They took Arrow and she just got smashed over and over and over. It didn't go out well for her. As we see, Defiler used up all of her regen so far, so looks like that Meccano stick has been giving her absolute hell. As Aluna also used up all of her bottle charges. Where's the rune? It's bottom, it's a regen. If Aluna can beat the Legion team to that bottom rune, she's going to have a lot of fun against Defiler, who hasn't got any regen yet, and the monkey hasn't got any regen left on her, and the monkey hasn't been upgraded yet, so she can't effectively bottle fairy even if she gets one out. As the monkey is now moving out towards the mid lane, looks like Aluna's picked up a Scarab. Unless it's going towards Bubbles. No, I think it is going to Aluna, as yes, the creep are being pulled up at top. So it looks like Valkyrie having a fair bit of trouble there. Here it comes. Yes, the Scarab was going to Aluna, as we've got bottom lane. Just going to see how Bubbles is going. Looks like he's getting pounded a fair bit by Demanded Shaman. Demanded Shaman not letting him stay in that lane at all. Looks like Myrmidon's carrying a ward. Not sure what he's going to do with it, though. Probably just hanging on to it at the moment. Doesn't want to use it. That's looking top. Valkyrie copping a bit more flack, having walked into Voodoo Jester in the jungle. Witchslayer, though, coming to back him up. So Valkyrie's going to be forced to retreat there out of XP range again. And Voodoo Jester can see her, though, so he can lay down the harassments if he wants to. Yes, there he is. He's just jumping in some more harassment. As Valkyrie leaps away to safety. Looks like Aluna, though, taking a lot of fire there. She's been knocked down quite badly. Lost her regen already. I'm not sure what happened there. Might have lost it to a long-range Defiler wave if he played that poorly. Or maybe he's just spammed the Meccano stick so hard already. Looks like it was Valkyrie who popped a health pot there. She's out of regen now, so she needs to get some last hits in and get some more items up there, or she's going to be in a fair bit of trouble. As Mage Man's hit level 4 already. He's copying a bit of harassment, but nothing he can't deal with. As Voodoo Jester pulling a triple stack there. Nice work from him. Valkyrie's going to be down a fair bit of XP if he can keep doing that. But again, just looking at mid, looks like Defiler again being forced back. I'm not sure if it's a Meccano stick. He's not able to dodge it. But it looks like he's having a fair bit of trouble against Aluna at the moment. As Valkyrie again copying some more flack, just taking some damage, getting pushed back. Just looking at Valkyrie's levels at the moment. She's picked up 2 in Call of the Valkyrie. I'm not sure if she's trying to CS with it or... Interesting, she hasn't picked up any levels in the stun, which is always useful. You can go help out mid, get a gank or something like that. But if you don't have it, you can't do anything with it. Just looking at Bubbles. Bubbles not faring very well. Only level 2. Oh, as I said that though, he hits level 3. It looks like Demanded Shaman has been keeping him right out of the lane. And Myrmidon has been pulling consistently. But I'm going back to mid. It looks like Aluna's on the receiving end. Oh no, wait, maybe she's been spamming that chalice there as she fires another long range Meccano stick. Barely misses Defiler there. Defiler having brought out her bottle now. Valkyrie has been spotted in the trees. Looks like the Hellborn might be trying to set up a kill on her, as it looks like she's figured out she's been spotted, trying to run back here. Witchslayer not getting a stun off. I thought he would have gone for the stun there. Possibly could have landed a killer Voodoo Jester to chain his stun correctly, but apparently Witchslayer not game enough to throw his stun into the fog there. So, oh well, could have been an early kill if he played that a little differently. But we see again, Bubbles copying a lot of harassment at bottom. Getting knocked around a fair bit as we've got Aluna porting back to mid. Looks like she's going to fire another Meccano stick. Yes, there it is. Another Meccano stick straight in. Harassing Defiler quite badly. Just looking at the GPM. Defiler on 300 GPM. Defiler on 200 GPM. As she cops more and more flack from Aluna. Copying the stun. Copying the Meccano stick to the faces. It looks like Witchslayer might be roaming mid. Trying to get a gank off here. He's got his boots up. So it looks like he's getting ready for a gank, although it's quite difficult to gank the Legion mid player from coming from top lane, just because he is so visible coming down from that side ramp there. You just got such visibility as opposed to coming from behind here at the Hellborn. You can slip through there unnoticed, or over here, even over here, you can come through quite unnoticed. But we see Defiler head at bottom, going to camp for the 6-minute rune. Aluna also head at bottom. Aluna's got more mana and more charges up on her bottle, so she can afford to harass Defiler away, at least just sit there and take her out. But as it looks like she's bottling a haster, this could be a kill setup here. As we've got some TPs top. Looks like the Legion team have had enough of Magebane free farm, and they've come to gank him, although that ward there from Jelly Wheeler, a very good ward, spots the TP gank, so that the Hellborn team are aware that the Legion team are trying to set something up here. So I don't think this gank is going to be successful, as Witchslayer is not hanging around. Voodoo Jester's standing way aside. Magebane's just a little too difficult for them to pin down at the moment. They haven't got any reliable disables that can stop him from just blinking away, as they do come out on just chase him away from the creep, though, just interrupting his farm. As Witchslayer is roaming back to mid. The Legion team have put down a ward to stop the pulling, though, as Witchslayer might get caught out of position here. If he goes in from behind, he could get smacked around. As Magebane goes in, that might not have been a wise choice. As Myrmidon drops down his lead field, Wow, that was quite a long-range Mechanistic coming out from Aluna there, all the way from the middle lane. As Defiler's ported top to help out. Her ult comes out. Wheatfield comes out, catches Witchslayer. Witchslayer, though, managing to take out Myrmidon. Witchslayer, though, very low HP. Magebane, very low HP. Witchslayer going down to the creep, I think. As Aluna is now trying to fight Defiler, but she's not going to manage it. But she does have the haste rune up. Got another good 15-20 seconds. As Voodoo Jester, very brave, trying to take on take on Defiler there. Almost dies in the process. Aluna again throwing more Mechanistics, not quite managing to land that second one there, missing just by a little bit, but of course firing a very long-range Mechanistic earlier and cleaning up an enemy hero as Voodoo Jester gets taken down by, not sure what he got taken out by there. That was different. I'm not sure what got him there. I might just have to rewind that and take a look at it later. But it looks like Defiler got the kill. Maybe he walked into the, maybe the damage ticks had, surely not. Creeper is asleep. Maybe they're only just gone to sleep. I'm not sure what happened there. That was different. But anyway, we've got Purple Valkyrie coming down the bottom. Looks like she's going to try and catch up on a farm. She's up against Bubbles, who's level 6. So Bubbles way ahead of Valkyrie here. As far as the secondary solo goes, as Witchslayer is roaming towards these heroes, but he's been spotted by that ward there. So it looks like he's in a lot of trouble. Myrmidon dropping the magic up, dropping the Wheatfield, gets it out, and then getting cleaned up by Demented Shaman's healing wave there. And then Armadon just spamming some Spine Claws to finish him off there. You've got Voodoo Jester back in the top lane now after dying to those wolves, or rather to Defiler, although I think the wolves got him, to be honest, and the kill was discredited to Defiler because it looked like she was way too far away to get that kill. So I see a lot of harassing happening here as Bubbles picked up a regen from the bottom lane, not leaving it for Aluna, as he's now possibly going to try and take on Valkyrie. I'm not sure. He's just copying some harassment from her, though. As Witchslayer looks like he's got his stride as he's heading back towards the top lane. He's going to be striding dirty, going to try and catch those players out, maybe set up a gank if he can, although Armadon is looking... Oh, she's not that far. Well, he's got some chalice. As Witchslayer comes in, gets a good stun off. Voodoo Jester also getting a good stun off. Mechanistic comes in from mid lane as Voodoo Jester also drops his healing on himself. As we've got Magebane entering the fray. Voodoo Jester almost dead. No! Armadon goes down. Instead, Demented Shaman in a bit of trouble here. Gets stunned by Witchslayer. Magebane going to get another kill. No! Aluna, side with Aluna, has come up from the mid lane and throws another Mechanistic into his face and takes him down. So maybe this is why the Australian scene seems to favour Aluna. Although from the international competitive scene, what I've seen so far is a fairly lukewarm response to her, so I don't know. Maybe it's just around here, or maybe I'm missing something. But it seems her Mechanistic is being used very effectively by Sybe. Sybe, of course, having the sharp reflexes for CSS player, being one of the pro players on the TT Giga team. As we see, him playing possibly out of his comfort zone, but it's good to see him multidisciplining into another type of game. As we just see Fives here wandering around, just camping for that 10-minute rune. He's got a DD spawn on him. Is he going to keep it, or is he going to wait for Aluna to get here? So it looks like Magebane is having Wheatfield fire blindly at him, but doesn't quite manage to hit. So it looks like Fives is going to continue to camp. No, he's not. He's going to take it. He's going to take that double damage rune as Aluna is porting back to mid. I think that's Aluna. As Fives looks like he's going to go for Myrmidon. Myrmidon dropping a ward on top of Fives' ward there. Fives coming in to capitalize on the stun from Voodoo Jester, but possibly a little bit too late. Demented Shaman dropping the cloak, the Unbreakable on Myrmidon. So Myrmidon probably not going to go down to that. As we've got Magebane copying a lot of spine harassment from Armadon, but Fives going in now. Witchslayer going in, misses the stun, cakes it, gets hit by a magic up, gets knocked down to the ground as Magebane unable to capitalize on that. Looks like the gank has failed, and the Legion team are going to back off as Defiler is TP'd to top. She's entering the fray. Fives should get away though. His striders are up. They're not going to be able to run him down as long as he stays. Oh dear, this is a problem for Fives. He's been seen. He's probably screwed here, as yes, he is completely and utterly buggered. And he goes down to the Legion team, getting caught out there as Sybe throws another long-range Mechanistic, although I think it missed everybody that time. As we're just looking at bottom one, we haven't seen this much, as it looks like Valkyrie still hasn't managed to quite catch up to Bubbles. Throws out an errant Javelin Choss. Could have hit, maybe taken him down, probably not. Just looking at Valkyrie's skills. Might have actually. She's gone for 3-2-1. Skills at 6, so she's got 2 in Javelin, so could have done a decent amount of damage. As Bubbles harasses with the shield, drops his ult. Looks like he's going to go for the kill. Valkyrie drops call the Valkyrie, but Bubbles is going to take Valkyrie down here. There she goes. Legendary Valkyrie goes down. So it looks like we might be having a gank set up on top. No, Aluna is heading back to mid instead. So it's now 4-8. Team Fives' favour as So we got some action top? No, we don't have some action top. They're just farming, just spraying causes. Magebane actually does decide to go in, but gets chased off fairly quickly. But Fives is coming, but he's been spotted by that ward from Thumb, so they know he's coming, but they decided to stay anyway. Magebane fighting Armadon as the healing wave comes out and screws over Magebane quite a bit, but Voodoo Jester's ult comes out. Demented Shaman taking a ton of damage, gets taken down by that Voodoo Jester's ult, and Magebane hitting his face in there, as Witchslayer also getting a good stun off there and setting up that kill. But I'm just watching Luna here. She's roaming down the bottom, going to pick up an illusion rune, stick it in a bottle, and possibly get ready to gank bottom. I'm not sure. Yes, she is. She is going to try for bottom. Arno ward's up here, so she could get this one off. Was 5 successful? Yes, they did get around to counter warding that rune, that ward top that Fives died trying to get at. We've got the real Luna here, just coming bottom. Going to run into Myrmidon. Here it is. Myrmidon seen it, gets the stun off. It's only a short stun though. Doesn't have the ult charge on it. Wheatfield comes out, stuns a Luna. Valkyrie coming in, doesn't use it to set up an arrow. That was a poor play from my opinion. As Aluna goes down, Myrmidon goes down, but then Bubbles cleans up, I think it was Valkyrie there. Yes, cleaned up Valkyrie there, as Defiler has come bottom, just trying to help out, along with Demented Shaman. But I think that was probably a poor play by Valkyrie there. Could have used that Magic Carpet Wheatfield to set up an easy arrow, but didn't, instead save the arrow. Too late, and only got a 0.5 second stun off. Honestly, if he'd got that off, just comboed it with the Wheatfield, would have had an easy kill there, to be honest. But we've got Defiler, popped her ult, she's pushing the bottom lane here, just pushing that bottom tower. The Glyph goes out, Defiler though spamming the wave, she's got Demented Shaman with her, so she can probably tank it for a bit. The Demented Shaman opting to tank it as an altered Mechana Stick comes out from the base there, as we've got TPs coming out to the bottom tower, as Bubbles drops a shell and the stun goes out from Aluna, drops another Mechana Stick into them, Bubbles dropping the ult, dropping the silence, although Witchslayer comes in, fires the ult into Defiler, although Bubbles goes down in the process, Defiler kiting like a madman, and Aluna taking a lot of damage, going to get away though, no, gets taken out by a Defiler wave, but then Witchslayer cleans up Defiler, Defiler tanking a ton of damage, tanking the Witchslayer's ult there as Magikarp goes out. Fives dodges the Wheatfield, but takes the stun from Magikarp, but it's going to get away here. Myrmidon already having used the waveform to try and catch up. But I'm just looking, that was a good back and forth down at the bottom lane there. Defiler seeming fairly tanky, they're honestly not that tanky. Only got a power supply, really. She's opted to rush Ghost Marches, although it did help her quite a bit at the bottom lane. But I'm just looking at the GPM, so it looks like Armadon's on carry duty this game for the Legion team. He's currently sitting on 193 gold. Oh, that is a little low. It's only 14 and a half minutes in, but that is still looking a little low to my taste. I wouldn't be feeling too comfortable if I was being carried by that Armadon at the moment. But I'm looking at Magebane. Magebane's gold per minute is 340. Now that's looking a lot more healthy for the carry. If he's on 340 already, he's going to be very difficult to stop if he can keep farming. It looks like he's opted to rush an Ice Brand. I'm not sure if he's trying to rush a Frost Brand or if he's going to go straight for a Frost Wolf as Myrmidon goes down to the double damage 5s there. The double damage Pimp Slayer just giving him the backhand there and smacking him down. As we've got, looks like he's going for set up a gank at top here. He's got the double damage still, got the Striders coming out. Looks like Demented Shaman in a lot of trouble. Good stun coming out from both Witchslayer and Voodoo Jester. The ult comes out from Voodoo Jester. The Mechana Stick comes in. I think it was a narrow miss though, but Magebane and the ult from Voodoo Jester are going to clean up Armadon there. So 7-18 in the favour of Team 5s. Not looking good for uNEW already. They're looking in a pretty bad shape. Defiler taking a lot of damage from Aluna. Side playing it very skillful. She's just revealed herself again. I don't think that was a wise choice. Although no, Aluna's been blocked in, and Defiler pops the ult. Aluna taking a lot of damage. Although Bubbles wading into the fray, gets a good shelling, gets a good silence off, and takes out Defiler. That was a nice counter game from him. Saved Aluna possibly, as Defiler is quite quick, and Aluna had burned her Deja Vu. As we see Myrmidon trying to take out Bubbles, but he's only level 5. He's got no hope of taking down a level 12 Bubbles. As Aluna feeling quite confident, sitting around on 100 HP, so very confident that he can tank this. As we see Magebane getting run down by Armadon, but not going to stop him, just going to blink away, just getting it slow off though, just annoying him, stopping from farming, and honestly at this point they've got to do anything they possibly can to slow his farm down, because he's already on 350 GPM. As Voodoo Jester picks up a double damage from top, looks like he's going to roll top. Witchslayer is ported top. They're going to get a kill up. They're going to try and get a kill up here. The Pimp Slayer is here. They're going to do something. They've got a whole lot of disable at their disposal and a double damage. I think they can probably take out both the supports here. I think I can take out both Myrmidon. Myrmidon having nothing. He's got Striders, no defense at all, as Aluna is top as well. As the ult comes out from Witch Slayer, the Mechanistic comes out. These guys are boned. The double damage Voodoo Jester are going to take this out easy, along with all 4 players up here. The Legion team had no hope there. It's another 3 kills to the Hellborn team. And I'm looking at to follow. Her GPM is only 257, so it looks like Magebane getting a runaway farm here at the moment. Not sure what he's trying to build towards, but he's got the Ice Brain, got the Steam Boots. He's got a fair bit of HP for this for an anti-hero at this point in the game. He's got a lot of HP, so it's going to be difficult to take down. As Valkyrie drops a stun in on Magebane's port, so a bit cheeky there. Maybe a bit of a waste of mana. Wasn't going to follow it up. No point wasting the mana, to be honest. Is now, she hasn't really got the mana to follow up, but she's picked up a bottle, but now she's getting harassed by Magebane, just paying her back there, and she's down low on mana. You see, now Myrmidon's here. She could have set up an arrow, but it's on cooldown. She hasn't got the mana for it anyway, so honestly, shouldn't have wasted that when you didn't need to. As Voodoo Jester drops a stun, drops his ult, Defiler taking a bad ult, taking another stun. She's getting pounded, but Armadon moving into tank. But instead, Bubbles comes in. Bubbles has picked up a port key, just blinks in, silences Defiler and kills her, and drops his ult now on on Demented Shaman and Armadon. Armadon going down to a Shell Surf there, and Demented Shaman looking in a lot of trouble, getting caned here, although he dropped a good Unbreakable, managed to save his life there. Mechanistic comes out from Aluna and barely misses. Magebane porting in, going to try and run down Demented Shaman. Demented Shaman goes down, a hat trick goes out to Unknown. Unknown just pounding his way through them. So there we go. That was a quick concede. 18 minutes in, although to be honest, 7-26 at this point. Team Fires really had this one in the bag. They would have had to screw up phenomenally to let uNEW back into the game. But that concludes the first match. It's a best of 3 for the CGi. The Heroes of Newer CGi. So we're going to be back in a moment with game 2.